You're now tuned in to the Cold Hard Truth, Cayman's #1 hard-hitting live podcast show, where we feature some straightforward conversations on political, social, and celebrity news and all things happening in the Cayman Islands and around the world. This show was created to give the people a voice and a means of being involved and informed without any filters. Sometimes it gets crazy, but we always keep it real. We bring you the tea, piping hot, so grab your favorite beverage and join the conversation via WhatsApp at 324-1612. Email tips@caymanmarlroad.com. Now, here's your host, Sandy Hill, broadcasting live from the beautiful Cayman Islands.
Coming up right now, actually. I mean, like how I stalled a bit.
Big news. I have some important news for you.
Interesting news.
It's Blake and Aaron's Spilling the Tea with Sandy.
Cayman's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Hey, everyone. How's it going?
Good morning,
Hey,
Aaron. I
Sandy.
think you're still flying solo.
Yeah, I think he's back tomorrow. Now, I timed that pretty well. We played High Tide into your segment. Well, Winter Wonderland from High Tide just now on Christmas music.
Nice. I don't know,
Yeah,
my mic seems a little bit low. Do I sound low to you?
it did for a second. It just pumped up a bit.
Okay.
So that's
I don't know
better.
why it seems
Much
low.
better.
All right.
There you go.
Good morning. Good morning.
Now we're here. Now we're awake.
Yes. Ready to hit the road.
Truthful Tuesdays.
Truthful Tuesdays. Oh my gosh. We have so much to talk about today.
Okay, so what's up? Let's get to it.
So, news-wise, there's quite a bit trending this morning. So the public health department confirmed 2 more deaths over the weekend, which of course we already have discussed, COVID related.
Okay.
So one was an elderly lady,
Aw.
and
I mean, obviously all tragic.
yeah, for sure, but mostly all unvaccinated as well. And I think that's an important fact to put out there. So far, 8 out of 9 have been unvaccinated. They also disclosed a young man who passed away in the tragic Cayman Thanksgiving Day crash.
I saw that.
His name is Alden Irons, only 29 years old, Jamaican national, and he's resided in the Cayman Islands for actually quite some time. And a lot of people know him, and they were very, very sad to hear that he was the person who had passed away in that 2-car collision. 4 people remain hospitalized. The solar program is back. So this is exciting news for anyone who's trying to figure out how to save money. And one way to do that on your CUC bill, at least, is to invest in solar. So for a while, it was quite controversial, actually, but it was put on hold because OFREG had not issued additional capacity for CUC to then issue additional capacity. So kilowattage, and it gets a bit technical, but it seems like OFREG was the issue, and I don't really know what their logic was. We actually had a solar expert on some time ago talking about what was going on, and why the decision was being made. And so finally, maybe it's a new board at OFREG, but they have.
That'd be nice if it just kind of gets sorted out. We can make our more decisions to lower that bill. That's ridiculous these days.
Absolutely. So so they have done that, and CUC has made an announcement that the programs are back on. So it impacts, apparently CUC have 2 options, the core program and what they call the DER, which is the Distributed Energy Resource Program, and they're both now available. So check those out if you're interested in finding out more. I'm sure you can contact CUC or any solar provider, and they can explain to you how it works. So that's a bit of good news.
We knocked over $100 off our bill every month just putting a solar pool pump in.
A solar pool pump. That's interesting, because I was speaking to a pool person recently, and they were saying that the solar pool pump, I forgot exactly what they said, but they were like, it's not going to be as economical as you think.
Totally, for us, it is. It has been, at least. We've had it on for, I'd say, a year now.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, maybe I think it might just depend on, I don't know, might depend on the situation of your pool.
Yeah.
Mine's just a kid pool. Not just kidding.
Yep.
Like the little kid plastic pool that I put a solar pump on now.
The Humane Society has rescued a dog named, they named the dog, let me tell you her name. Oh, it's such a sad case, really.
Oh my gosh, you really want to tell it? Because this is the thing. It's like animals, I just can't hear. Terrible. Animals and children.
I know.
Had a bad story. Skip over the bad parts. I can't take it this morning.
I think unless people are willing to actually do something about it, then it's kind of one of those things where nothing's ever going to change. So this dog was a rescue named Desi, and unfortunately she passed away because, she just was basically being starved to death by whoever owned her in the East End district. And it was just too late by the time they tried to intervene and rescue her. So rest in peace, Desi. It really is heartbreaking, actually. But, I would like to see us as a community really do better by, the animals and children, for that matter.
Obviously.
So.
And just harsher punishments all around and more enforcement. That's all.
Yep.
I think that's the problem.
The enforcement is lacking like no one would believe. I could tell you some horror stories, but anyway.
I know.
So unfortunately, but they've raised the alert, and so we think it's important for people to recognize the harm that's being done to a living creature. I don't even understand how people can do it and not think that this is horrible.
Totally.
So And sort of, international and regional news, New York City has implemented a vaccine mandate for all private employers.
Hmm.
So New York is leading the way,
That's
the
cool.
first in the United States to do that. So we'll see how that works out. There have been a lot of lawsuits, obviously, swirling around vaccine mandates in the US. And, the mayor there, Bill de Blasio, has said, listen, we need to try to stop the spread of Omicron in particular. And so all private employers need to get on board. And he sees it as what he calls a preemptive strike to try to hold Omicron back as much as possible.
Yeah.
And on the vaccine front, Pfizer is saying that they're still monitoring the situation because they're not quite sure yet how effective or not their vaccine will be against the Omicron variant. So they're going to give it a couple more weeks before they decide if they need to go back to the drawing board and have a look at the spike proteins. Because as we know, the Omicron variant, why it's of such concern is because it has numerous mutations compared to the other Delta variant, and most of the mutations are actually on the spike protein, and that's specifically how the vaccine works.
Yeah.
Is on those spike proteins. So everybody's watching that situation very, very carefully.
Yeah.
So
Give it time. They're finding out things every day. It's
absolutely it's a learning
science
process.
is amazing. Yeah, science is amazing. I mean, I'm microchipped. I mean, vaccinated. Joking. It's a completely safe vaccine.
I didn't even listen. Yeah. I was so not even picking up on that just now when you said that.
Because I'm actually I'm getting my booster now, and because it's open to everyone, and so
I need to look at, because they've shortened the recommended time, by the way, for the booster shot from
I saw
6
that
months to 3 months.
Yeah.
I think that was announced on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. But so that definitely puts me in the category of being eligible for my booster as well. So I'm going to do that very soon.
Great. Well, I'll see you around at the.
So especially since we've had a household, as people know, with COVID cases, and we're all clear, and everybody's kind of getting back to normal. I never had it. I've got sinuses at the moment, but I'm annoying. But
I can't cough. I cannot cough out in public without being like, I swear I don't have COVID.
I know.
That's not COVID. I'm like total stranger.
Everyone looks at you when you sneeze or you cough. They're like, what do you have?
I'm so sorry. I have the mask on though. So it's kind of wild. But we're all getting boosted. The remaining just my husband and I, because then it will be perfect timing for when my mom and her husband are here. They have their 3 shots. So
exciting. So when do they arrive? Christmas is right around the corner.
Yeah, the 18th. So they're heading up to my sister. So they're leaving their home and going to spend some time up there with my sister and her husband, and then fly from Boise, Idaho over.
Yeah.
So
well, we were at the airport on Saturday because Air Canada made its return flight since the pandemic.
I saw it fly over and I was like, what is that? What is that plane? Everyone's like, I've never seen that plane before. Now we're like all experts on what plane.
I know. It was a big one. And in fact, what had happened is they were supposed to be bringing in a smaller plane, but so many people had booked, like the flight was completely full. So many people had booked that they ended up, doing a bigger flight in the end. And there were at least 4 or 5 wheelchair people coming off, which I thought was so nice that they get to, although you're in a wheelchair, your life obviously doesn't change. Mm-hmm. Big shout out as well to the differently abled individuals. I think it was Friday that was Disability Day, International Disability Day. And I didn't know that at least 15% of the world lives with some sort of a disability.
Definitely.
So
one of my really good friends was going to come visit me. Unfortunately, it was literally right around the whole COVID thing. So she was coming she's back in Minnesota now, but she's in a wheelchair now. And she was going to come out here, and they were going to the BRAC. She has a little club of they all learned how to dive. And so they're like made this huge plan to come to KMU BRAC. And I was like, I'm so excited. I get to hang out with Alex again, And so I'm like all getting ready. And then the COVID, obviously had to cancel everything. Right. So it's like so upsetting, but it's I don't know. I have a lot to say on that topic just because I do have a lot of close people to me that are disabled, and a lot of people misunderstand abilities.
Yeah.
So,
well, so, yeah, it was nice to see that one lady even had her little oxygen tank with her. And I saw the pilot. I was so touched by his generosity. I saw the pilot come off the plane and then go back to help an elderly person down the ramp, an elderly lady.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Because that's hard right there. That is.
Yeah, so the flights are back. And you know what, Aaron? It was kind of like a bittersweet moment for me to actually be in the airport in the departure lounge and see it relatively bustling and active. I was like, oh my gosh, this brings back memories, because it's been so long
Yeah.
that I haven't traveled. And so, yeah, it was just really, really nice. It was super nice. And there was even a couple dogs at the airport barking and like.
I love it. It's like hanging out at the airport again. Okay. This is the excitement we have. It's like old days.
For sure.
I would like to travel. I am excited for my family to get here, and I know a lot of people are excited to either leave or come. And so, yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting ready for Christmas. It's right around the corner.
Chantel Bangs, your phone is everyone's microchip. Exactly. People thought they were getting microchip, but yet you carry around your cell phone with you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what people are thinking.
Well, they don't. And that's why.
It's just, yeah, it's just one of those things. I think we could all just relax a little bit. But anyway, yeah, so, lots of Christmas festivities. The lights are going up. The Christmas parties are happening. So it feels a lot more normal this year as well, I find.
Totally, it does. I like it. Well, hopefully Blake is, I think he's back tomorrow. So we'll chat with you then, see if anything happens over whatever the evening. Yeah. And you guys have a wonderful, Truthful Tuesday. I'm sure Sandy will spill it all.
Thanks, Erin. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
All right. So that's Erin without Blake this morning, but that's okay. She's doing her thing over there. So I woke up this morning and my sinuses are just like all over the place. And I look outside. I'm like, of course, the weather is changing. I told you guys, I never used to have sinus issues. And then about 10 years ago, I noticed that depending on, sometimes I can't even really put my hand on the weather per se. Like it just happens that, yeah, there's just some sort of shift. A couple times I thought maybe it was like pollen because the weather hadn't really changed, but definitely, my sinuses were being impacted by something. So yeah, there is that. So how are you guys doing? How is everyone? Tell me what's going on this morning. Good morning to, who's the first person to say good morning? Marshall, I knew it. I was just thinking in my head, I bet she's Marshall or Evelyn. They're always quick on the money with the good morning greetings. Buenos dias, good morning. Bonjour. How many languages? I feel like John now. How many languages can we say good morning in? Well, you guys know there's never a dull moment with John boy, and he's keeping y'all on your toes. So last week, I can't believe it's been a week already, Tuesday, he decided to make a move to the PAT government. And so, he made the move, and we were the only ones there live streaming, of course. And, oh gosh, I'm having a look at something. So there was one segment of his prepared speech where he kind of fumbled a little bit. And he said, oh my goodness, sorry. And he said that he's going to, what was the term that he used again? Hold on a second. So many people have been sending it to me that I've got to, I'm going to tell you guys what he said. It is a little bit funny. And even at the time that he said it, I was like, oh, this is funny. Oh, yes. Thank you, Kevin. Oh, my gosh. Listen to my throat. Ugh. Come on, sinuses. Don't do me this morning. All right. Hold on one second. Let's take a quick commercial break. I'm going to send out the show links, which I did forget, actually. I see Kevin just messaged me, and Kevin's like, don't forget the show links. All right. One quick second. We'll be right back.
Ho, ho, ho! I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Don't make it a blue Christmas by delaying on ordering your propane for that Cayman beef and turkey. Be like the 3 wise men who rode through the night and prepare for the 12 days of Christmas. Hark! Propane makes all the herald angels sing. Feliz Navidad! Contact Home Gas early for your Christmas propane order at 949-7474.
Christmas time is about family, caroling, church services, and dirty dishes, cleaning floors, and power washing your house. Don't let the ghost of Christmas chores make you a Scrooge. Call Reliable Industries today for all of your house cleaning needs. Our professional services are perfect for Christmas time to let you forget the hassle of housework and focus on the important things, spending quality time with your family. Reliable Industries offers an array of gold standard residential home services, including professional house cleaning, window washing, pressure washing, HEPA filter cleaning, professional kitchen hood cleaning services, and more. A happy home is a healthy home, and there's no time like the holiday season to make your home the happiest. Don't forget that Reliable offers gift certificates and gift baskets for your loved ones. Call Reliable Industries today at 949-9303 to speak to a customer service rep to book your services. Reliable, serving the community for over 30 years with quality and pride.
All right, folks. Big shout out to Reliable. You know, this time of year, everybody likes to spruce up a little bit. And you can certainly do so with, Reliable. Give them a call. They'll help you with everything. My least favorite part of the Christmas holidays is having to clean up after you've had lots of people over. And Reliable, you can just let them do it. It's nice to be able to cook and enjoy the festivities and then not have to worry about the cleanup. Hello. Why not? So yes, I was actually saying that I had forgotten to send out my links. So big shout out to Kevin. He's paying attention this morning. He's like, Sandy, send out your links to your WhatsApp group. By the way, we had a number of people join the WhatsApp group yesterday. I think it's because we had posted something that said, don't forget, you can join the WhatsApp group. It's a news distribution list is what it is. So no one actually sees other people in the list, which I think is important for these types of groups. So it's not a group where, listen, it's not one of these crazy COVID groups where everybody's going to see you in the group and you're all going to be having conversations about God knows what. It's not that type of group. I think for privacy reasons, it makes sense to actually not do it that way. And so it is actually very low key in that sense. And basically you just get the news, which is the purpose of the group, right? So you get the news and then people will often, sometimes they reply to me. They don't have to, obviously, but sometimes they do. And when they reply, it comes directly to me and nobody else. So there are times that people see something and they go, that's interesting. And then they comment on it, whatever. So yeah, so this video of John, I'm trying to find it actually on my phone. Who sent it to me? I had a lot of people send it to me. Now I can't even find it. But anyway, he had made a little slip up in his speech. Oh yes, here it is. Okay, hold on one second. And listen, he's had his moments where I have been like, what? So, it's happened to, listen, a lot more of them than perhaps we're willing to admit. But John, we like to poke a little fun at him. But you know what he said? There was actually a part during his moving over speech that I thought was kind of funny as well. Because it was really the way he said it as opposed to what he was actually saying. Like I got the gist of what he was saying. But the way in which he said it, which is basically like people always underestimate him was what he was saying. But the way that he said that, it wasn't quite like people always underestimate. It was kind of like, oh God, how did he say? It was really funny, but he's basically like, I'm sitting here and because I'm quiet, people think that I don't know what's going on, or, they think that I don't have a clue. And then boom, all of a sudden he'll pull one out of the hat and shock people. So he made several references to times in his life where he's really surprised people. One time he mentioned some sporting event or something. And then there's another time that he mentioned, I don't even know what it was, something else, where he said that, he can pull it out of the hat. Somebody just sent me a message. Mm-hmm. So this one was trending. Thank God that CMR was there bringing it live to all of you, which I thought, we were the only ones who were there covering this meeting last week. And so, of course, y'all had eagle eyes. And listen, over 650 people were tuned in. And, someone just said to me, I don't know why I don't receive the CMR link, because you're not on the list. So I will add you to the news list. That's why. So, yes, the benefit of the news list, I realized I'm actually going back and forth a little bit this morning. I feel like I've got a mild case of ADD or brain fog or something, right? And I do this a lot. My husband says it to me all the time. He's like, can you finish what you were saying about? I was like, honey, child, the brain has moved on to something else. I have a lot of processes going on at the same time. Anyway, so he said that in his speech in LA. He mentioned a sporting event, and then he said something else. And I kind of chuckled at it, because I thought that's interesting that we underestimate him. Some of you were not particularly happy at the decision. I get it. I understand. You guys know that I've said this on last week, because everybody's like, oh, well, are you going to be a fan now? It's not about being a fan. I've never had anything personal against John. I know his family. He's got 2 wonderful kids with Melanie. And these girls are so smart. His oldest daughter, she writes. She's like a poet. She goes to school in Canada. I think she's still boarding school in Canada. Really smart kid, actually. And, she's just, listen, I think that every parent, I'm sure her mom, the mother has had a lot to do with how they've turned out, but, every mother's goal and every father's goal should be for your children to be better than you. None of us are perfect. We all have our quirks and issues and dysfunctionalities and whatever. And I always think, let's get your children to the next level. Let's elevate them in life so that they can do better than us. They can outshine us. I've heard of people being jealous of their kids. And to me, I'm like, what? We'll talk about that later. But here's John's video. Again, people thought it was funny, so they sent it to me.
Here's about you more than Dwayne John Seymour from Gun Square, Borden Town. But I can assure you that any situation that I sign up for, I will make it worse. I will make it work best for Borden Town East. Some may have a problem with that, I know.
So he had a slip of the tongue, folks. It happens to the best of us. Trust me. You guys will know if you watch this program. Sometimes I've said things and didn't even know that I said it. At least he was able to correct himself. Sometimes I've said things and you guys are like typing, no, I think you meant to say whatever. The brain, especially in stressful situations, you're giving a speech, you got people there, he might have been a little bit nervous. The brain is telling you to say one thing and the lips do something else. It happens. So someone said to me last week, are you on John's, go John train? And I said, well, I have never had a personal issue with John. I'm just telling you guys, I know his wife quite well. By the way, big shout out to Melanie. She's going to be getting remarried soon. She's such a beautiful person. She really is like a nice person inside and out. And someone's saying industrial park traffic is really bad. Oh, Lord. And, I'm not friends with him, and that's okay. Like, I don't really have a lot of friends. I don't keep a lot of friends on purpose. But I think that, he's ran on a platform of being like a grassroots candidate. So he's not running, and this is, I think, kind of what he was trying to say in the LA in his speech. He's not running on, I'm the guy with all the professional qualifications and the biggest brain in the parliament and the degrees and whatever. That's not me. He's willing to accept that he is a grassroots politician, as he said, from, what did he say, from in Bontown, Gun Square, just an average Bodden towner, and he's got, I guess the average people that can relate to him. And I think every single person, Brandon, Wee, good morning. You guys can agree with me or not. Tell me what you think. Good morning, Louis and Alice. But I think every single person brings a different element of who they are to the world of politics. So there are some people that I look at in the political arena and I'm like, these people are not smart, none at all. But do we all need brainiacs in the LA to make it work? Well, I guess not. Clearly. I think there are other attributes that can be really, really important. And of course, some of those attributes include working hard. Listen, there's working smarter and there's working harder. And working smarter does not necessarily mean that you are the person who has the most formal education, because we know, we've said it numerous times, you can be the most educated person in the room and still be the person who's missing all of the relevant points and who just isn't all that smart. We've seen it on this program. People come on here with PhDs and they leave a lot to be desired because they don't understand how to communicate. They're not emotionally intelligent, which means that they're book smart and they understand theories and all that kind of stuff, but they don't even have the ability to communicate ideas in a way that you, the average person, can really get it and absorb it and take it in, right? Because they're like, when they read a book or when they say something, it's like they're reading straight out of an academic textbook. And I find the intelligence in those people outside of an academic setting is a waste. Because everybody else is sitting there going, wow, they sound really smart. And I'm sure they are smart. And this is supposed to make sense, but just over your head, right? You're just like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. So there's that. So yeah, I mean, not everyone has to be the nerd in the group. I think we got a lot of really smart people in this group. Good morning, Dawn, Olivia, Felicia, Miss Maureen. So lots of smart people in this group, including the premier. I mean, he's a lawyer, obviously, so his expertise is certainly in one area. And the financial services minister, Andre Ebanks, is smart. I saw Andre. I didn't tell you about Andre a little bit. I've not had a whole lot of interaction with Andre. He seems to me like he's actually an introvert. And I think, this is just my personal observation, I think that it takes a lot for him to be a public person, so to speak, right? And so he prepares. I think he prepares a lot more than people think. So he will review speeches. He's going to be the guy who's going to over-prepare in a situation. But then he shows up and he makes it seem very seamless. I saw him on Saturday at the Calisthenics Park groundbreaking ceremony. And he was speaking on behalf of, I believe, the premier, who was unable to make it. Juliana O'Connor-Conley was not there. So the MC read her prepared speech on the importance of the park. And it's being donated, by the way, by a businessman who's been living on island for a number of years. And so Andre got up and gave his remarks. Not a single piece of paper. And I know Caymanians, especially during the election, y'all are into people who can speak off the cuff. And I've always thought it was very interesting because people are like, boy, you saw them, not a piece of paper, oh my gosh, they went up there and they were just rattling off and da-da-da-da. And I think that a lot of people who don't prepare speeches often do better. Sometimes you just need bullet points, but you don't need a speech that you're like reading verbatim. You just need to know what you want to say. And of course, there's a number of ways in which you can pull that off. And one way is you really, really prepare in advance, especially if you want to have sort of these like keynote, like raw statements, and you want to get it precise, like quotations, and you have a specific like mantra for your speech or your campaign. You want to make sure you're really hitting those key points. And of course, you prepare a lot for that. I know Andre he's a smart guy, but he really shows up to the game prepared. And there's a lot to be said for people who do that, because really that's how you get better at anything in life. You practice and you prepare, right? So yeah, I saw him on Saturday, and he got up and gave his remarks. Again, no piece of paper, no nothing. He just spoke. And I like his style. Like I said, I don't even think I've really had much of a proper conversation with Andre. Most of the other guys, I feel like I kind of have known over the years. But up until the campaign, I never really even met Andre before, to the best of my knowledge. So I'm hoping that he'll be on the show soon. We do have Impact Wednesdays coming up, folks, where you get to hear specifically from the PAC members. Maybe, I don't know if we have anyone booked for tomorrow, but maybe we can get John on. Ooh, might be a little bit hot. Because I still believe in accountability, and I think there's a couple of things that John needs to do, which I've been saying from day one, and my position in those things has not and will not change until they're actually done. So y'all sitting there talking about I'm on somebody's bandwagon. You guys soon see. The bandwagon we're on is Truthful Tuesdays. Big up, Virtuous Panook. Evelyn is here. CMR Massive, she says. Good morning, Miss Joy from Richmond, Texas. Larry from New York, Nueva York. Larry, you love you some Billy Joel, I realize you're always asking for Billy Joel. Chantal, good morning. Y'all hear that ding-a-ling-a-ling sound? That's Amazon telling me something has shipped. Catherine, good morning. Diamond Princess, Chantal. Let me tell you, Santa's sleigh. Let's see what Amazon got going on. Santa's sleigh is, 2 packages on their way. Let me see if it's the one I'm really waiting for, because Lord knows. There's one package that I don't know what the holdup is. Amazon is very, very good about telling you where your packages are at. So this one says tracking ID will be provided within 48 hours. All right, that's not the one I'm looking for. They send you all these alerts if your package is moving slower or faster. And so what I've done in my email is I have created a special rule to let me know when an Amazon message comes into my inbox. Oh, geez, peace. No, don't even go there this morning. I can't take that kind of stress. Oh my God. I'll soon tell y'all what that is. Jeez. So, yes, I've got these alerts coming in as my stuff starts to move. And of course, folks, this is it. If you have not thought about what you're getting somebody for Christmas, especially if you got to bring it in, you're coming up now and being a little bit late to the game. In fact, I must say that if you're going to be using AirPost, which I'd recommend, do you guys know that they charge you based on the weight and not volume of your package, which apparently makes a huge difference? Because most people charge you based on volume. So, Amazon will send you a box and it's one little lipstick like this, and the volume, like the box it's in, is like this big. They want to make sure your lipstick is not going to get squished, honey child. And so when somebody's charging you by volume and the little package weighs nothing, it's like featherweight, trust me, you're going to pay a pretty penny to bring that into the Cayman Islands. So I see my packages are on the move. And I love that, even AirPost tells me exactly what's going on with my packages. So I upload my invoices as they start to ship. And then I can go in and it'll say, this is where your they even take photos, because sometimes, especially these Chinese people that you order stuff from, like you don't know you're ordering it from a Chinese manufacturer. You just click on it in your Amazon cart and it's coming halfway around the world. And then they use weird tracking labels and the description doesn't make any sense. So I like that they actually give you photos of what's in every shipment as well before it even leaves Miami. So big shout out to the Aeropost folks. So Chantal, yes, was mentioning about the phone. Thank you so much, Richie. Irvin says that she was driving this morning. That's why Marshall beat her to it. Jennifer, good morning. Woo, 37 degrees in New York, getting cold. So folks, you've got not much longer until Christmas. Get yourself organized. I'm going to go see a local retailer today because I want to look at a few things for people for Christmas. Now, I can't tell y'all because obviously that person might be watching the show. So I don't want to tip anybody off in terms of what they're getting for Christmas. But I like to give. I'm a giver. Did you guys know this about me? Like, I really, if you're my friend, which is only like 4 or 5 people, but you know, acquaintances might know this as well. You will know that I'm a giver. I love giving. I think there's something wrong with me though when it comes to that department, because I think as much as I give, I don't necessarily like to receive. Like, receiving makes me uncomfortable, but giving makes me happy. I think that there's something wrong with that situation. I think that comes from some childhood situation. I don't know. It's just weird. But I love to make people happy up to a point. And I love to give. I love to see people's face light up when they, wow, you thought of me, and you know. So I kind of go out of my way to really think what people want. Yeah. So I've got a visit that I need to pay a little bit later on for a friend. He was very emotional yesterday because he knew the young man who passed away. Evidently, he knew him very, very well. My friend called me and he was crying. This friend I've known for donkey years. I mean, we go way back, way back. And I've never heard my friend cry. I've never seen my friend cry. And I pick up the phone. I see him calling me and I pick up the phone and it's just crying like a baby. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened? I'm thinking his mother died, you know, like this is really, and he's like, oh my God, Sandy, the guy that died in the accident was my friend. I knew him. And he's like, you know, this kid grew up, like I babysat him. I've known his family for over 15 years. The guy's 29 years. He's like, I cannot believe he's dead. And then the way he found out, unfortunately, because he doesn't really keep up a whole lot with news, I must say, is he's on Instagram. Like, he's not even a Facebook person. So he was scrolling on Instagram and he follows CMR. And the photo of the guy showed up on CMR. That he was the young man, Alden, that had died. And that's how he found out, which I'm really sorry. And I know that sometimes that happens. And he was just like, I can't believe it. I was like, oh my God, that's horrible. So condolences to his family. We still don't have the details. And my friend was asking me, like, what happened? Do we know? And I said, I have no idea. So condolences to his family and friends. Mr. Blair is joining us from Orlando. He says, I'm appreciating you from Orlando. Shirley's in Florida. Miss Brenda says you need to get some Olbus and do the steam inhalation thing. What is Olbus? I don't even know what that is. But I do have one of those like little personal steam machines that you can use. The steamers. My husband was using it when he had COVID the other day. So I wonder if he's disinfected it since then. I definitely don't want to use it. Although we know COVID doesn't really stay on surfaces for long, I'm going to have to disinfect that in some boiling water and something else. Yes, I better make sure that's properly disinfected, honey child, before anybody else uses it. You know, you can catch COVID more than once. So, Daisy, good morning. Yeah, like I try not to take an allergy medicine if it's not that bad. You know, I'll leave the Benadryl alone, but it depends. Because right now I'll probably go through an entire box of tissue. Like my eyes are watery, sinuses are draining. I might go through an entire box of tissue. Miss Brenda, you're in Miami? Ooh, 67 degrees. The temperature in Cayman, I don't even know. Do you think Alexa might know the temperature? Oh, it says it on the screen. She says it's 70 degrees, according to her. But is that outside or inside? Alexa, what's the temperature in the Cayman Islands? That's a lie. She's got it set for Miami. No, thank you. Yeah. All right, Alexa, stop. She'll talk your ears off. But she says now Miami, Florida. 84 degrees is the high, I guess, and it's 68 degrees. I don't know if it's 70 degrees outside. Is it 70 degrees outside? Kevin said you made my Alexa go off. She heard you. Listen, there's a whole article I was reading last week. This is kind of funny, actually. Speaking of that, about people named Alexa and how upset they are that they can't even appreciate their own names anymore because one woman was saying that she was in class. She's from Mexico, whatever. And she was in class, and every single time her professor would say, "Oh, Alexa," it would send off his Alexa. And so he shortened her name to Al or Ali or something. She's like, "That's not my name. My name's Alexa." So there's a movement of people who names are somebody else that I think everyone's Alexa answering. There are people whose names are Alexa and they're not fond of like the Amazon device. But do you know that you can actually change it? You don't have to call her that name. That doesn't have to be the prompt command. I think there's a choice of like 3 or 4 different things that you can change it to. You just have to go into the settings and change it. My husband told me that. He's the IT man around the house. So Irvlin says, what's going on with traffic in Industrial Park? I don't know. Damaris is watching from New York City. It's very cold here, 37 degrees. Y'all are traveling. By the way, stick a pin. Hold on. Let me give you some travel statistics here. I have personally been wondering how many people, because like I said, the airport is hustling and bustling and moving and, So I have been wondering how many people are Caymanians that are traveling versus like real travelers. So let me see here now. Oh, wow. What? Okay, so hold on a second now. I have this information because we did request it. And let me see. It's mostly locals that are traveling. Y'all got the travel bug. Yes, hold on. Let me see here now. Oh, yes, arrival stats. So my question was about the arrival numbers from November 20th, phase 2, up until November 30th. So it's not a whole lot of time yet. Well, it would have been good if they could have given me up until Saturday, but takes a while to get these numbers. So we have 2,276 residents that have traveled during that time and 1,596 visitors. And so that includes tourists, persons visiting family members, persons who have property here, international students, and persons here on short business trips. So the bottom line is the people who are traveling and outpacing everybody else, that's y'all Caymanians finally getting to go somewhere. Bless your little hearts. Good morning, Kristen. Good morning, Kenneth. Y'all were complaining about the borders reopening, but look like y'all needed it to reopen more than anybody else. I had a young lady message me last night. She's like, how soon can I leave after getting vaccinated? It's amazing that what's motivating people right now to get vaccinated is travel because the borders have reopened. I had another woman. She actually has I don't know what's wrong with her. I can't remember if she has something that has wrong with her because she's actually been medical boarded from work. She used to work government. I don't know if it's lupus. Like, I don't feel like it's lupus, but it could be lupus, It's something quite serious. And so last week she messaged me and she's like, "Oh, Sandy, do you have the vaccination clinic list?" Which a lot of you will ask for all the time. I said, "Girl, you're not vaccinated?" Yeah, she's like, "Hey, how are you? Need to get the vaccine." And I said, "What? You're not vaccinated at all?" Like, I cannot believe it, because she's, again, one of those people that should definitely get vaccinated. And so I sent her the vaccine clinic list, and she says, "Doing it now." And I said, "Girl, do not delay." And this was last week, a Wednesday. And I said, "We had our first real COVID death this morning." And I said, "Doing this story now." And she says, "Oh, wow. Just did my first shot." So she went right away later on that day. Go back on the 22nd for my second one. And I said, "Well, thank God." She says, "Yes, sis, I need to travel too." So I was like, "You need to travel? That's your worry, that you need to travel?" I guess whatever motivates you. But honestly, y'all need to get yourselves together. How about doing it to stay alive? No, sir. All right. Well, if you need to travel, then you definitely need to get vaccinated, because America not letting you in. You're not going shopping in Miami without being vaccinated. Please do remember that now you need a PCR test 24 hours before. By the way, big shout out to Total Health. They have opened up a PCR clinic in the West Bay corridor, and they're actually the only ones who have it in that area. So, if you live in West Bay, sometimes you don't even live in West Bay, but it just makes sense to go ahead and get it. I'm gonna save this. This is the November December calendar version 1.2. I think this is the last one. Hold on one second here. Let me just double check before I give y'all wrong information. I don't want you going to a clinic that doesn't exist. So let me just double check it. So, get vaccinated, people. At this particular time, yes, version 1.2, sorry. This is the latest version. I don't know why they keep sending this as a PDF. I'm like, why don't y'all just make this an image file? Sure. Ugh, because then I have to try to convert it to PDF. Anyway. So here's the vaccine schedule in case y'all need to know. All right, so today is the 7th of December, and today they will be at Camana Bay from 12:30 to 4 p.m. and then from 5:30 until 7:30. Second floor, Canela Court, which is adjacent to the observation tower. Tomorrow, they're Camana Bay and the Sister Islands. Remember, we have about, I think, 11 active cases on the Sister Islands. West Bay Health Clinic is on, oh my gosh, Thursday. Friday, they're back at Camana Bay and the Sister Islands, and then Saturday at Camana Bay. So I think I might go get my booster this weekend. Yeah, that's a good idea. So whatever it takes. Kristen says it's called Knowledge. Good morning to Miss Ruth. Miss Maria is here. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Beulah. Miss Maria says he's only human, referring to John. I'm sure of that. Yes, a lot of you guys appreciated a lot of his positivity during the COVID situation, the Bible verses. And you know what? One thing I must give John is he's consistent. He said he's not changing from that. He can still be positive. He hasn't done any languages yet, thank God, but he did say that he was going to be still giving y'all the Bible verses and the positive thoughts. And I said, all right, well, we know what you're all about, son. That's all right. You go on. You go on through. And so I must tell you that he did hit the ground running. in terms of being there with the PAC government. On Saturday, I saw him at the airport Saturday morning with the Air Canada flight that came in. He was part of that contingent, along with obviously Minister of Tourism and Transport. And who else was there? Parliamentary Secretary Heather Bodden, Deputy Premier Chris Saunders. And I feel like, am I leaving anybody out? They had a few things to attend that day. So I think that they split it up because there was actually some funerals that Sabrina Turner went to. She went to, I think, 2 funerals for the day. And then she was at the afternoon event at the Calisthenics Park with Ministers of Sports, Bernie Bush, Andre Ebanks, herself, MP and Parliamentary Secretary Kathy Wilkes was also there for that one. Who else am I missing? So yeah, they listen, that's what teamwork is all about. They say teamwork makes the dream work, and you can't be everywhere at all times. So I feel like, hopefully they have a good calendar manager to say, okay, these are all the things that we got to get done. Who's going to go to this one and this one, this one. So they're well represented. Listen, I don't even know. Morning, Scott and Loretta, Miss Ann. I honestly do not know how politicians get anything done for the sake of them having to be at so many official events all the time. Honestly, I don't know how they do it. Now, listen, speaking of how they get things done, tomorrow evening, we are going to have the premiere on the program for Impact Wednesdays. So please make sure that you tune in for that. We got a lot to talk about with him. So he will be joining us from 7 until 9 p.m.
Ho, ho, ho! It's that time of year again. Christmas is right around the corner, and you do not want to delay. Because of COVID-19, there are numerous logistics delays expected. Give yourself the gift of a true Christmas miracle by planning ahead with Miracle Brokers. Whether you're moving halfway around the world or ordering a new car for your loved one, contact Miracle today at 949-5989.
The Cold Hard Truth now has your Premier access with Premier Panton.
Hello everyone, this is Wayne Panton. Come and join me on Cayman Mar Road's Premier Access every other Wednesday at 7 p.m. for a frank and open Q&A session. I'm here to answer your questions about the issues that concern you the most. Tune into YouTube and Facebook Live on Wednesday. We will see you there.
Full transparency, answering your questions, down to earth, accountable, and accessible to who matters. You. Don't miss Premier Access on the Cold Hard Truth, spilling the tea like no one else.
All right, folks, that is Premier Access tomorrow. We might be having a show. I'm just confirming because his guest is overseas. There's a young lady in Jamaica, folks, who got shot and almost killed. And we're going to be talking with her and her mom this evening, hopefully at 7 o'clock. I'm just confirming with her mom. So by the time the program is ending here, I'll be able to tell you guys, making sure that she's still available. You guys are going to want to hear this story. The reason why we're having her in the program, because I'm sad to say that getting shot in Jamaica is probably not an unusual occurrence. But, the violence there has a real life toll on people. So even if you're not killed, there's so many things that happen to people who are shot, including they have disabilities for the remainder of their lives. And this young lady is in need of some help. So I just messaged her mom and then confirmed to make sure she's still coming on. I want all of you to tune in this evening because she's trying to get, I think it's called a cochlear implant, where basically where she got shot in the head is like right behind the ear. And thankfully, like I said, it didn't kill her, but now she's losing her hearing. So in order for her to be able to still hear and not lose that completely, she needs to get the surgery. And so it's going to cost money. And we want to see how we can help, Cayman helps all kind of people. And I feel like sometimes our closest neighbors are the ones who don't always necessarily get the help that they need. So she's going to be on sharing her story with our audience this evening. So I'd like for you guys to definitely tune in for that. So good morning, Andrea. Good morning, Miss Iva. Miss Iva had a birthday recently. Hope you had a fabulous birthday. Miss Perla is here. Chantel says, what's the fastest way to get something into Cayman? Well, the fastest way is if you know somebody, just hand it to them and say, you're going on a plane, here you go, honey child. But a lot of people don't do that anymore. They will not take stuff for people because they don't know with all these security measures, what's in it and all that sort of stuff. I find that AirPost is fast enough for me, given, what's going to happen once it reaches customs, because the good thing about AirPost is that you can actually pre-alert your packages. And what that means is that's why I need to know from Amazon why or when a package is actually shipped and I have a tracking number. Because then I can go into their system, upload my invoice, the price, everything. So they have all of that pre-calculated for customs. So it really saves time, because where you're going to have the brakes go is when that package reaches Cayman and customs has to hold on to it. And, oh, have you sent an invoice? Have you done this? Have you done that? So the beauty of the AirPost system, and we need to have Dino back on here, is that I'm able to, I'm going to show you guys a little something.
Here's the boat.
Sorry, that was the wrong thing I was uploading. The beauty of it is I can actually go directly into their system. So this is my little situation here, my little account. And I can see what is pre-alerted and what isn't, what's waiting an invoice and all sorts of stuff. Oh, what's this? I haven't ordered a watch. Sometimes I get the description wrong, I must say. I wonder if my husband, maybe Marlon's get me a watch for Christmas. I don't know. If it's not something that I haven't ordered, he knows a pre-alert as well. So I'm not gonna look, because maybe it's a Christmas gift, because obviously we have the same account. But yes, like here's a couple makeup items I've ordered, shoes. I don't want to show you all too much because some of these are presents for people. They might be looking. So then, so I've already uploaded like my receipts and stuff for these items. So it'll tell you over here, like these are in the air. And they'll tell you if they're still waiting for invoices and that sort of thing. And then you can come in here and upload your invoices. So delivery dates, it's very well organized, I must tell you. Yeah. Recently received, what it was, and the whole 9 yards. And then the great thing is it actually tells you what you're going to be paying as well. So before the goods even come, precisely what you're going to be paying. So see my invoices and stuff here? I've already uploaded them. Invoice 1, invoice 2. So we're all good to go. So that's the pre-alert system, and it really allows, and then it tells you up here, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it tells you where stuff is in transit. So right now I have 14 items that are on the way. And if I click on that, that'll actually tell me what 14 items we're talking about. And then I've got 28 items in Miami. Don't y'all be looking at me sideways, folks. It's Christmas time. And then I think they need to clear out the Grand Cayman stuff, because as I get my alerts of stuff being here, I do pick it up. So I don't think I have anything in Grand Cayman right now, unless it's arrived overnight and I haven't got my email yet. Because as soon as I get my little email that stuff is here, I'm like, ooh, honey child, I'm on my way. I'm coming. So yeah, so they even kind of give you an idea of the duty and stuff like that. The duty is not always 100%, because I think the system does stuff for like other countries and stuff as well. So everything I order, child, it's all here. Thank God my husband doesn't really pay too much attention to this, because he would be like, what are you ordering again? Yes, honey child. So yeah, Chantal, I think it depends, but for me, I find that the Aeropost system works pretty well. You can prepay everything. Perla, I live giving like you too. Nothing is wrong with us. You love giving. Yeah, so this is my favorite time of year for obvious reasons, because I get to give. And that's exciting. I get to be everybody's, well, not everybody, but I get to be Santa for people. And so there's an organization that needs some bicycles. The premier actually is going to be donating the bikes, but I also know he's been really, really busy in the Legislative Assembly. So I think we may do a donation from CMR. At least I think they asked for like 4 bikes, and he was happy to do it, but I know he's actually been really busy. So I think CMR, and this is an organization that works with kids. So I think that with CMR, we're going to get together and donate a bicycle for some underprivileged kids. So Rishi said he's looking forward to his 75-inch LCD. Thanks, Sandy. Only 75 inches? Man, we need to go for the big one, 90-inch. Albus oil. I need to look into this thing. I'm not too familiar with it. Oh, Miss Brenda's in, I thought you were in Miami, child. All right, 47 degrees. And Marshall, you're in North Carolina, yes? Okay, so let's talk about some serious stuff, folks. There's a couple serious discussions that we need to have that have me a bit puzzled. What is going on in Cayman's bars? You know, apparently women can never, and I want to say men too, but mostly women can never feel like they are, Tracy's making me laugh. She says, every time your chime device chimes, my dog starts barking. It's the same chime in her Ring doorbell. I keep telling them there's no one at the door. Yes, we have multiple security things here, and we do use the Ring as well. We actually have 2 at the front door. One's called the Ring and one's called the Kuna. We've had the Kuna way longer than the Ring became a thing. And the Kuna is still ticking, and it's fantastic, actually. You can actually customize the Kuna for like the holidays, where the Ring thing is like a holiday greeting and stuff. So they have like Halloween, Christmas. And the thing I like about the Kuna that's different than the Ring, the Kuna actually has built-in auto messages in a different voice. So say, for example, you're a woman and you're home alone. You don't necessarily want a man to know, like, oh, a woman to answer, you know, so it'll do it like a male voice, like, hello, can I help you? And it's like, oh, there's a man in there. So I like, it has different features, but that's funny, Tracy. Yeah, so listen, apparently we were contacted over the weekend by astute individuals who said, Sandy, they've had a couple friends who've gone out recently, and they feel like they have been roofied. Is that still a thing? I was like, people are still doing that? Like, that's disgusting. So what this is, ladies, is this was a message we got on Saturday. People are, you know, slipping something in your drink. Now, I don't know if it's like the official roofie, or if in Cayman we have our own Caribbean version of it. I don't really know. All I know is this is a very dangerous situation. Very, very dangerous. Because the only reason someone normally would want to drug you is if they have some ill intent towards you. Morning, Roderick. Good morning, Miss Nona. So why would someone do this? 4 or 5 girls who have been roofied had their drinks spiked in the last few weeks, and maybe you can put something up about this to keep people safe. What is this? All right, men, I've never quite understood why a man feels like, well, I know the scientific reason, but you know, like the logical reason. Why would you need to take advantage of anyone? Seriously. What is wrong with you all? This is disgusting. You know that there are women out there, men. This is I guess an eye opener for you. But there are actually women out there who would probably sleep with you for absolutely nothing in the world. You don't even have to buy them a plate of fried chicken. Hear this. They are more than happy to engage in relations with you. Some of them don't even need to know your name. First name basis only. So why would you need to target a woman for your own sexual and disgusting gratification and actually drug her? And the thing is, drugging someone can be really dangerous. And I mean, gosh, this is outside of, the fact that it's against the law and it's disgusting. But it is quite possible that you could drug someone and harm them with the drugging part. I mean, obviously, if you have to drug someone to have sex with them, that's actually called rape. So let's be very, very clear here. There is the offense of sexual assault, and we have seen on numerous occasions here that unfortunately this is a thing and it happens and people are doing it. And I think it's disturbing. But it is disturbing that you are probably not even thinking about the implications of drugging someone and what you could do to them with that drug. Not everybody's going to react in the same way to a particular drug. So Debbie points out that it's all about power, and that's definitely part of it for sure. Listen, I sit back and I watch cases all the time. Oh my God, I was in court yesterday watching another case. This one is the guy with the who's alleged to have been accessing child porn. Child, that situation is a mess. Wow. He's special. Very, very special. I'm not going to say too much about it because I want to wait until we have the case is concluded to a certain point, because it is a jury trial. So we're going to kind of leave it at that. But folks, there are people who will sit back and think that this is okay. And sometimes in our brains, we are trying to understand why people are doing the things that they're doing. So here's what I mean by that. I know I always sit and I think, why would you need to do this? As Debbie says, it's more about power and it's about other stuff. Yeah, but it has me perplexed. Because quite frankly, you look at them and they can look so ordinary. And this is the danger, folks, in taking people at face value. Okay? Because you look at someone and you think, oh no, they look normal to me. They sure do. And yet, they are drugging people. They are raping people when they're drunk. You know, when I see people say, well, I don't think that guy, he's got a girlfriend. Why would he need to do that? Well, I can't explain the why. All I can tell you is that on a regular basis, this sort of thing happens. And quite frankly, our young girls need to be taught the dangers of them going out, especially if they're either alone or if they go out with friends and everybody's drinking and nobody's really paying attention to what is happening. Because there's some guys, they go out, the sole purpose of them going out isn't even to like have a good time. It is literally to find a victim. Remember the young lady who was on here talking about this guy who was had this business, which all know we can't figure out how he had a business license. Because actually he doesn't, is the point. Offering modeling services and girls for different events and whatever. I mean, that's a thing, and there's a way to have a business like that and to do it professionally. But this guy wasn't about the professional component of it. He was just looking to take advantage of a lot of these girls. And so one night, she says he's driving her home, and he starts doing stuff that is making her very uncomfortable. She wasn't drunk, so she was very much aware. Why are you taking this route? Why are you talking about we're going to go to the beach? I don't want to go to the beach. I want to go home. She had the good common sense to be messaging her boyfriend to say, listen, something is wrong here. I'm feeling uncomfortable about the situation. And here is my location. Remember, she pinged him a location from where she was at so that he would know. That girl, I thought she was a smart girl. She did a lot of things right. Because there will be times when you will find yourself in a situation, folks, that you hadn't anticipated. And boom, there you are. All of a sudden, you're in a car with some creep and you just don't even know what to do. You're at a loss of, oh my God, now I'm in this situation. Is it too late? How do I handle this? How do I get out? And, before you even get into a situation, I feel like we all need to have a plan B. So, folks, plan B isn't just like the plan B pill. You guys might have heard that one. That's not the plan B I'm talking about. The plan B I'm talking about is, if I find myself in this situation, what am I going to do? That's your plan B. How am I going to handle this? Right? So if you're going out with your girlfriends, I'm encouraging all of you, talk about this amongst yourselves. Be prepared. Like, I think there should always be one friend, and you got to be able to find that one friend. I was that one friend when I was in university because I didn't drink. So I was like, you know what? I got you. I'll go out with you guys. I might dance a little bit, may have a soda, but I'm not drinking alcohol, and I'm watching everybody like a hawk. Child, you know me, my 4 eyes, I'm looking. And I'm telling you straight up, you'd be surprised at some of the stuff that you see. And I would tell my friends, and it's amazing how people will walk away from a situation, right? And they will not be watching their drinks. They just leave the drinks on the counter and they go on with their business. I'm just like, what? You can't do that. Right? And you got to just have a friend who's going to be like, I am going to keep an eye out on everything that is happening here. With a view to ensuring that nobody's slipping something in your drink. So a number of women have come forward and they've said that they have realized that there are people who are spiking their drinks and unbeknownst to them, afterwards they're feeling the ill effects of it. They're recognizing that, whoa, something has happened here. And I don't know how many women may have actually been victims of a sexual assault and are just too afraid to speak on it, because a lot of that is happening in our communities as well. So Ms. Brenda says, just remember that Ted Bundy was handsome and highly intelligent. Yeah, you cannot judge a book by its cover. You don't know who these people are. You know, oh, that's so-and-so's brother. He's cool. Child, he's been the neighborhood child molester from day one, from when he was a teenager. Don't make assumptions about people. Don't trust anybody, is what I tell people, because you simply do not know. Marshall says that they're sick. Ms. Darlene says more safety measures need to be put in place. And that this has resurfaced in the UK at an alarming rate. Women have started to boycott pubs and clubs for more safety measures. And I must say that there are things I feel like that should be done by the establishments. Now, when it's busy, the lights are low, you know, I get that it's hard to even see a lot of times what's going on. Everybody's like, if you're in a jam-packed bar, which by the way, right now with COVID, you probably shouldn't be doing that anyway. But the bartender not paying attention, they're trying to fill drinks as quickly as possible and get their orders out. But I do feel like there should be more of a security presence, not just at the door, but they should have security personnel in the bars. Back in the day, they were called bouncers. I don't know what they call them these days. And they were walking about and paying attention to what was going on. And I think that is necessary. But I think for your own personal safety, it's in your best interest to have a buddy. Do the buddy system. Someone who's going to keep a keen eye. You never leave your drinks unattended. Oh, I went to the bathroom. Throw that drink out when you come back. Now, I know drinks are expensive in Cayman, but trust me, you'd rather waste $15 on a drink than be roofied and sexually assaulted. It's simply not worth it. And some of these guys work in tandem with each other. Remember the taxi guy that got off the other day? I've heard some stories of him working in tandem with people. That's why I never believed that he didn't do what he said he did, because I've heard too many little teenage girls saying, damn, that guy did this to me and he tried this and it was him and this cousin of his. And I'm like, Debbie reminds us that monsters live everywhere, including Cayman. James says, don't even take rides from people that you don't know. Well, you know, the sad thing about it is, take a taxi, for example. You don't know every taxi driver, but that's a business. So you kind of think to yourself, shouldn't I be safe in a taxi? If you are intoxicated, do not assume, especially that is the case. So Sarah says, I ping my husband my location anytime I go on the road, even to the grocery store. Sarah, you might be a little bit extra paranoid, but I'm not blaming you. Trust me. You feel almost like you need to, right? as women, I feel like there's certain times in this community when we've recognized how incredibly unsafe we are potentially. And one of those cases that will always stand up in my mind is what happened to poor Estella Scott Roberts. It was horrific. I remember that Saturday morning waking up and hearing that Estella was missing. And I thought to myself, what do you mean she's missing? In my brain, I didn't understand. I couldn't even, I was like, what does that mean? What do you mean she's missing? And everybody's like, well, maybe she went to a friend's house and forgot to message her husband, and maybe she had a few drinks. And, we never thought the outcome would have been, we thought, oh yeah, she'll show up, whatever. And then I remember by later that morning, the dialogue in the community was at a fever pitch. It was like, no, something is wrong. She's never done this before. A friend would know, even if the husband doesn't know, like something is wrong. And then they saw that her phone had been, it was like her employer was low at the time. And they started tracing her phone, and they see the phone on the move, and they're like, something's wrong here. And of course, then the police got involved, and it was actually her friends who were out looking for her. And they found her, I think, before the police did, which was crazy. But yeah, that was one of those. I mean, after that, no woman felt safe being out by themselves. It's like you had a buddy system. We recognize how many times you're in a parking lot and the parking lot is too dark and you're walking by yourself. Like, all of us felt, oh, I could walk across the street by myself to in a dark parking lot. This is Cayman. We don't believe in stranger danger. Like, nobody's going to grab me. That doesn't happen here. That's Miami. That's Orlando. That's Fort Lauderdale. That's Jamaica. That's somewhere else. Well, all of a sudden that was Cayman. And it was scary. And, there was a thing about that particular parking lot being a little bit too dark and not well lit. No security guards again out there watching people walk to their cars for safety, nothing. And I remember for probably at least a good year after that incident, every time we went out, we were like, okay, I'm going to walk you to your car and then you drive me to my car. If it was just like the two of us. And you watched your friends get to their car. Like, nobody was going to leave their friends, walk into their cars alone. And it's just a very, very dangerous situation. Perla says, I can have 4 drinks on me and I'm watching my peeps' drinks and who they're dancing with, because I don't play that game with no one. At any time, anyone can be a victim of rape, etc. Cece, I see you here. Are you meaning to join us? Jennifer says, I tell my daughter, never accept a drink from anyone and never walk away from your drink. Yeah. So it's very, very important, I feel like, to constantly remind ourselves, because after a certain amount of time, we put our guards down, right? Like, how many of you now go somewhere and walk out to the parking lot and you don't even think, what's the lighting? Am I checking my surroundings? Like, there was a time in the States, listen, there's been a couple of times when I lived in the States, some weird stuff was going on. People getting kidnapped and all kind of stuff. Christmas time, like, you were keen to, like, look underneath the car before you got too close to it in case somebody was trying to grab you when you walk with all your Christmas bags. I mean, there were times I was, like, super paranoid living in the States, and more so if you lived by yourself, like, making sure nobody's following me. Have your car ready as you're walking to the vehicle, because people will kidnap you behind a heartbeat in the United States of America. And, we do these things every single day, and then we let our guard down and something happens. Cece, good morning. Hello? Miss Brenda says when you go out, make sure it's with a group. One should be designated as the watchdog. And you got to make sure that the watchdog is good at their job, Miss Brenda, because I feel like sometimes your friends like, yeah, I'll be the one, I'll watch out. And then they be the one to get the most drunk or the most insane and whatever. And they're not the best at looking out. I don't know if CC meant to join us. Hello? No? All right. I don't think it's like the CC that we actually are used to, because the person's like messaging me saying, good morning, madam. So if you're going to join the show like that, you got to be ready. Catherine says, I found in the past that some security officers won't do anything when you speak with them. Their favorite expressions is, I'm on a work permit and can't do anything. Kay makes the point that some of these predators are actually people we think we know. And in reality, they are then, we realize that they're monsters. Yeah. And that's the whole danger of people that they gain your trust. Like, you're like, oh, I know him. He's my girlfriend's brother, or he's so-and-so's cousin, or whatever. So you don't ever think that they are a danger to you. You feel like, oh, I can let my guard down. And it's sad that we can't live in a society where we can be so much more carefree, but you really can't. This location button is not a good thing to have on. This is a terrible idea to show people your whereabouts and your personal space. Keep the location button. Well, it works both ways, Perla, and I'll tell you the danger of keeping it off is a lot of times women have been found because of that very same location button. Even if it's after the fact, at least their families get to recover a body. And it has also assisted in convicting people. So the location tracker has good things. Now, I agree with you. If, someone is like stalking you or whatever, you don't necessarily want to be pinging your location publicly. So I have a friend who sometimes I've been out with her, and she likes to always take photos and post them on social media about, oh, we're here right now. And I've told her this before, and any of my friends know that this is, I will take photos and post them after I've left the venue. So you're going to know, oh, sometimes you don't even know what time I was there, but at some point, Sandy was at this location. But I don't do those in real time. Now, if I do a live stream, obviously a live stream is a live stream. So, if I'm live streaming, you know exactly where I'm at. But when I'm out with friends, I'm out to dinner, and they're like, oh, let's take a picture and post it. I'm like, no. You post it after we're gone, right? Nobody needs to know exactly where you're at this given time. But turning the location feature off is not probably a good idea otherwise. Okay, so something is happening out east or beyond. Plenty of police headed that way with lights and sirens. So listen, Jim, we got this information earlier this morning. I didn't really want to say anything because, we don't have confirmation on this. I'm understanding that that we might have a situation this morning on our hands. I can't say more, except it might be some sort of a possible suicide. I don't really know. So I don't want to say more than I know. But somebody sent that this morning. They sent it as a question, so I don't know. but the person hasn't heard anything more, and that's not out east. So if something is going on out east, I don't know. So normally, we have to wait to flesh out what is actually happening. So we'll get some confirmation, I think, shortly. So lots of police presence and sirens. Ay. We'll keep our ears open for sure. All right. Tim, thanks for the heads up. Heard something happen tragic, Magdalene, as in out east. Oh boy. Good morning, Alex. Marshall says I do the same thing. I post my pictures afterwards. Oh man. Oh shit. I think somebody else is messaging me about the suicide thing. It could be true. My picture isn't clear. Are you watching on let me just check Facebook. Sometimes I need to refresh the connection. It's all internet based, y'all. Oh my God. I hope it isn't true. Yeah, I can see Facebook is all right. Let's take a commercial break. I need to get another box of tissues. And wow. Let me try to figure out what's going on. There's a couple alerts coming in real time. So I'll refresh my oh man. Oh my God. 22 years old. All right, let's take a little break here, folks. Let's just take a break. Looks like we're all in for some bad news this morning. We'll be right back. I'll take a break and I'll refresh my screen as well during the commercial. Are you interested in a rewarding and exciting career in tourism? Are you a Caymanian, a permanent resident with rights to work? Then you don't want to miss this upcoming tourism job fair on Thursday, December the 9th from 1 to 4 p.m. This amazing event will be a chance for you to speak with industry experts who have some 200 real-world jobs available at leading hotels and restaurants around the island. Show up with your resume in hand, best foot forward, and a warm Cayman-kind smile whilst dressed to impress. Pre-registration is highly recommended at jobfair.ourcayman.ky. The Tourism Job Fair is a collaborative project between Works, CITA, and the Ministry of Tourism and Transport.
Ho, ho, home for the holidays is here. Cayman Marl Road is offering a special Christmas supplement, ideal for retailers, service companies, and restaurants to showcase your products and services for the holidays. Do you sell gift certificates for a day at the spa? Specials on excellent electronic gift ideas? Catering for the holidays? Then contact CMR Sales today. No business is too big or small. Take advantage of Cayman's #1 media outlet to showcase your Christmas offerings. Supplement publication date is December 18th, so contact us by December 13th for your display ads and sponsored content. CMR offers the island's best advertising rates with the largest reach. Don't delay. Call 324-1612 or sales@caymanmarlroad.com today.
All right, folks. Hopefully the connection is better. Alex, thanks for letting me know. Sometimes as we're doing the show, the internet kind of fluctuates, and it definitely will impact the quality of the stream. So I have refreshed it, so hopefully that's better. So folks, a bit of sad news this morning, it looks like. I've now gotten some additional details that I can, I won't share everything that I have, but What I do know is that we have a situation in our hands. That looks like a suicide. Unbelievable. Really sad. All right. I have like an instant headache. So it's in the Prospect area. So I don't know the message about out east. I hope there's nothing else going on out there as well. But it's always sad to hear of these things, especially right around the holiday season. It's sad anytime. I guess it doesn't really matter when something like this happens. But, you know, you always think that people are looking forward to spending some time with family and friends before Christmas. So I don't know. So the young man apparently is 22 years old. The local company. Somebody just sent the name, but I'm not going to say where that is. All right. Prospect area, unfortunately. Okay, until we get more information on that, we won't say too much more. The police are on the scene at the moment, so we'll just leave that for now. All right. Yeah, folks, I say this every single time. Apparently the situation in East End is that there's a boat stuck on the reef, is what someone has just messaged to say. So thank you for that update. I guess people are on the boat. So so yes. Okay, so there is a situation in East End, but it doesn't sound quite as serious as the other situation. So let's just hope that people can get the help that they need. I always say this, and I think that this is sort of good advice, I think. That if you ever feel like you want to commit suicide, I feel like there has to be a way to get you help. You know? Like, it's just one of those things. Don't do it. Don't do it because help is right around the corner. A change of circumstance is right around the corner. Like, nothing in life is normally permanent. And so, you know, I feel like give it 5 more minutes. Like, your moods can change. like you feel like you want to kill yourself in this moment, give it 5 more minutes. And then in 5 minutes, if you still feel that way, give it 5 more minutes. Buy yourself some time to get some help. That's how I always, like, I feel like, obviously, I think that a lot of people who have tried to commit suicide, they go back and they do it again. So sometimes they're successful the second and third time. So of course there's that. And I feel like, if you tried it once, then chances are you're having some serious mental health issues. But if you delay, like if you find a reason to just hang on, I think there's always some sort of hope. Thank you, Miss Ravina, Miss Sue, Magdalene. So I don't know, 22 years old is so young. I'm just like, wow. I feel like there's just so much hope. Life can be challenging, definitely when you're in 20s. I'm not going to say that that isn't the case, but so, some family, unfortunately, will now all right. Okay, so the other thing that I want to talk about this morning is the poor dogs. And the mistreatment of animals. Now, you guys know I, in particular, have a real love for animals. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I feel like if you've never had the opportunity to love a dog or a cat or whatever, a fish, even a goldfish, I'm not big into fish, but whatever. Then, like, I feel like you've probably missed out on a lot in your life. They bring so much, they're just amazing. They bring so much joy into your life. They have their little personalities. You can be so lonely, and if you have a pet, you're not lonely anymore. They can just add such a level of such a level of, like, they just add a lot to your life. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you've never experienced it, then you are missing a lot. And when I see people mistreat an animal, I think there's definitely something wrong with that person. They need professional help. Somebody said to me the other day, if I care more about animals than I do people. And I think it was in relation to, I don't know what post I put up the other day. Oh, the one about the man who was slamming the dog on the ground. I mean, I couldn't even finish watching the video because, first of all, I wanted to literally commit murder. Like, if I had seen that in person, like, I couldn't, there's a lot of things, like, you feel like, okay, you want to capture it on video and whatever, but the person sat there and watched it and videotaped it, and then apparently someone walked up to him afterwards and they were asking him, oh, are you okay? I was like, what? I don't care if he's okay. Like, seriously, I would have assaulted this man. I'm not going to lie to y'all. because I'm protecting the dog. So a jury would have to decide if that's, I mean, I guess there's probably nothing in law that says you can do that to protect it. You can do it to protect another person, but the law probably doesn't give you that defense against an animal, but it should. Like, I would have, listen, I don't know if the dude was on drugs or what was wrong with him, but I'm sorry. I would have ran up to him and friggin' punched him and kicked him to let that poor dog go. And I would not have left the scene. I would have called the police, and, you know, that just would not have gone down. So here's poor Desi. Unfortunately, she has passed away. Look at this poor dog, and you guys tell me what kind of sick people we have living in this community that would keep a dog like this in conditions. First of all, who starves a dog to death? Why? Why would you do this? This is so sick. If it's a situation where you can't afford to keep your dog, give it to the Humane Society. They will at least feed the dog, walk the dog, and make sure the dog is happy. Other people would have loved, somebody would have loved to have had this dog. But this is probably one of those situations where they were just using her for breeding purposes, because it looks like she might have had puppies recently. I'm not sure. And they actually dumped her. They found her in what appears to be a dumping situation. My God. So they tried to save her, and unfortunately, the poor thing. I mean, look at this picture. Look at the, you can see her spinal cord. And look at her little, I know it's technically not her waist, but like in that area, this is horrific. Look at this. All of her ribs are showing. Who does this? What kind of animals do we have? And the dog isn't an animal here, people. They are human animals. Why would you have a dog and do this? There's some sick individuals. And you know what? I want to be very clear. A person who can treat an animal like this, if they could get away with it, they would treat a human like this too. That's my personal opinion. And I feel very, very strongly that if you could see another creature suffer at your own hands, my brain can't even process, why wouldn't you feed a dog? Don't you eat every day? Probably multiple times a day? And you're going to have a poor animal around you looking like this? Like, Debbie says, anyone that abuses a helpless animal has no damn soul. They're a demon. I prefer animals any day to human beings. I agree with Debbie. Like, something is wrong with these people. Now, listen, you must know, somebody out there knows who this dog belongs to. I'm sure somebody has seen this dog maybe tied up in somebody's yard. And if you have, I think you need to come forward and you need to give a statement to the police. You cannot allow people to mistreat dogs, cats, you know, any animal, even the cows. Yes, some of us may eat them, but you don't have to mistreat them. Children, elderly people. You can't allow this to happen in a society and you sit back and do nothing. So this is where I have a real issue. Like I said, had I witnessed that guy abusing that dog in town, it would not have gone down like that. Y'all would have got to see a real UFC moment live on CMR. Because yes, I would have had him live, but I would have rolled up on him and said, what are you doing? Seriously. This is where we need some pepper spray and some other things available to be able to defend ourselves and others. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's horrible. I mean, they tried everything that they could to save the dog, and unfortunately, they were unable to do so. So a number of people reached out to me here and said, Sandy, did you see this? And I hadn't until they reached out to me. And I must say that unfortunately, I couldn't believe my eyes. When I was looking at those pictures, I was like, what the hell? What is this? I was just really flabbergasted. Miss Joy says, sad for that dog. They should be treated the same. That's too much. Sandy will catch you tomorrow. I can't take it. Yeah, it is hard to see these images and know that this is what's happening. But I feel like if we don't understand and see what's happening, it's easy for us to ignore the issue because it's not in our faces. We don't have the reality of this sort of thing. So Moya says, I feel there isn't enough resources or classes needed from high school on depression and how to manage it. I have suffered from chronic depression for 10 years now, from 10 years old. And only when I got into my 30s was I able to fully recognize it. My parents did not see the signs as I hid them well. And I have now learned how to manage it and identify triggers and how to counteract the onset of it. I can say it is something you have to know how to manage to science. Moya, thank you for sharing that with us. And sometimes, Moya, it is an imbalance, like what's the word I'm looking for? A chemical imbalance as well. And that's where medication can be helpful. So Perla says that in terms of the suicide situation, sometimes people feel like they don't trust anyone. They feel like they're alone. They may feel the experiences in their past that don't go away. They're too scared to speak up and prefer to die with it in their soul. And the list goes on. Don't be afraid and speak up. Silence is a killer. Damien says, let's go to the moon instead of fixing hunger. So Wee has 6 cats and they're all her babies. Thank you. I feel like, more people need to be prosecuted. The Department of Agriculture, in conjunction, because I think they actually fall under the Department of Agriculture, but they have like policing powers. They only have 2 welfare officers. And this is where I think the PAT government, I would really like for them to see, and I'm calling them to do more, to see them invest more and provide at least 1 more full-time position for the welfare officer. So we've gotten some more information, folks, on what is happening in East End, by the way. All right. Some mornings, everything's just popping off at the same time. So, the situation in East End, folks, is actually a drug bust. Not surprised. When I heard a boat on the reef, I was like, somebody gone fishing? What kind of boat? Boat on the reef? Sounds a little bit suspect. So it's a drug bust, and we will certainly try to keep you guys updated as soon as we know more. It's crazy. It's a really crazy day. I feel like the morning has just begun. And we've got a suicide, a drug bust. So that's what was happening out east. That's why you saw all of the police cars and stuff running out there. It wasn't a rescue, that's for sure. Let me see. Somebody send me some photos. Let's see what these photos are of. Lord have mercy. This is a situation in Prospect. Okay. Okay. Folks, let me get on it. In terms of the news, I do have to pop into court as well, because the trial for Freddie Diaz, who's being accused of having child pornography in his possession. Yesterday, it was they were sharing the interview video of him being interviewed by the police. So I'm going to tell you guys a bit more about it once the prosecution is supposed to wrap up their case today. And so because it is a jury trial, I don't want to say too much more than that. But you guys will be interested in this case, trust me, when I can say more. Okay. All right. Folks, before we leave, I want to invite all of you to make sure that you are aware that on Thursday from 1 to 4, there is a job fair, a tourism job fair that's happening. Now, we've been running the promo for it. I think a lot of people are interested, but I want to make sure that anyone who is unemployed, has an interest in tourism, go out and see what jobs are on offer. And, speak to some of the industry people that are going to be there. You've got to pre-register, go with your resume in hand, look your best. They have protocols in place for COVID. And, show out, stepping out with your best foot forward, because we have people in the industry who say they cannot find Caymanians who are interested in tourism jobs. And I don't want you guys to prove them right if that isn't the case. And listen, if Caymanians truly are not interested in tourism, then that's one thing. No one should be the face of this country except for us. We should be the ones out there representing. Cruise shippers shouldn't be getting off the boat and hearing a Canadian accent, an American accent, a British accent, a Jamaican accent before a Caymanian accent. We may not have enough people to occupy every single tourism job or every front-facing job, but Lord knows, no one can tell me that we do not have some jobs available for Caymanians. You know what is so interesting? Since the advert has gone up, the people that have been responding have actually been a lot of expats. And I'm like, they're like, oh, there's a job. Can I get more information on this? I'm like, you Caymanian, you have rights to work? No. Halfway around the world. I was like, no, sir. Okay. So they're getting prepared and they're ready to jump into these positions. And here we are as Caymanians. Not doing what we need to do. All right, folks, we're out of time. Alex says one question. When you are vaccinated and get COVID, how long is quarantine for? Well, until you get cleared, sort of, but they changed that a little bit. Normally it's 10 days if you're an adult. If you're a child, it's 14 days, and then you test at day 11 and day 15. Having just gone through that in my household, that's what it is. Thankfully, my daughter tested negative on Friday, so she was able to go back to school yesterday and be with her friends, and I'm thankful. And she's thankful too. Folks, have a blessed day. This evening, we have a special segment at 7 o'clock with this mother. She's just confirmed that she's coming on. So I will put up the pre-show scheduling here shortly. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tomorrow evening will be Premiere Access with the Premiere. And I'm going to chase up this suicide situation. A lot of people messaging me because they're concerned about if it's a family member or someone that they may know. And then I'm also going to chase up the situation in East End as well. Have a productive, lovely day, folks. Be safe. Are you interested in a rewarding and exciting career in tourism? Are you a Caymanian, a permanent resident with rights to work? Then you don't want to miss this upcoming tourism job fair on Thursday, December the 9th from 1 to 4 p.m. This amazing event will be a chance for you to speak with industry experts who have some 200 real-world jobs available at leading hotels and restaurants around the island. Show up with your resume in hand, best foot forward, and a warm Cayman-kind smile whilst dressed to impress. Pre-registration is highly recommended at jobfair.ourcayman.ky. The Tourism Job Fair is a collaborative project between Works, CITA, and the Ministry of Tourism and Transport.
Ho, ho, home for the holidays is here. Cayman Marl Road is offering a special Christmas supplement, ideal for retailers, service companies, and restaurants to showcase your products and services for the holidays. Do you sell gift certificates for a day at the spa? Specials on excellent electronic gift ideas? Catering for the holidays? Then contact CMR Sales today. No business is too big or small. Take advantage of Cayman's #1 media outlet to showcase your Christmas offerings. Supplement publication date is December 18th, so contact us by December 13th for your display ads and sponsored content. CMR offers the island's best advertising rates with the largest reach. Don't delay. Call 324-1612 or sales@caymanmarlroad.com today. Give your family the gift of Roquet. Looking for the perfect gift idea for the entire family? Then look no further than Roquet, Cayman's #1 streaming experts. Confused by VPNs, Amazon Prime, Netflix geolocking, UK channels disappearing, where to find your favorite events, and so much more? Roquet takes the guesswork out of the world of streaming, doing the hard work for you. Give them a call today and see why Roquet is Cayman's most knowledgeable and customer-focused streaming support company. 345-926-1213. That's 345-926-1213. Call them today and give the gift that the whole family will enjoy, including you. Tis the season for big deals at Small Deals Outlet. Visit us for the latest gadgets, small electronics, phone cases, cables, and so much more. Small Deals Outlet specializes in all 2021 trending stocking stuffers like portable Wi-Fi routers, office desks and chairs, straightening hairbrushes, earbuds, and charging cables. Visit us today in the Thompson Building or conveniently order online at smalldealsoutlet.com and have it delivered to you. Tis the season for big deals at Small Deals Outlet. Call 746-7054 for more info.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of The Cold Hard Truth. Make sure to check Facebook for showtimes and more information and the latest news at CaymanMarlRoad.com. Subscribe to our IG and Facebook pages to get the latest happenings.